Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Earthlings. Hope all Earthlings on planet Earth are having a great day. Obviously, that's not possible, is it? I saw what's happening in America. Oh my God. Anyway, today, just coffee chat about stuff, which apparently I'm not allowed to do, according to some sugars. They really hate it. They really want us to stop talking. Just stop talking. Old women, ugly old women. We all look the same. All Brits are all the same. We're all racist, ugly old Brits. My God. I wonder what the school children in Great Britain think about that. I wonder what all of the 64 million people in Britain think about that. My favourite one, and it always says the same thing, is your mummy's a hoe and so are you, or some shit like that. They just put the same thing. I actually miss it if that bot doesn't come along and say that. Anyway, I was thinking, if in an imaginary world I could get Elon Musk to come on a live, what question would you most like to ask him? Because I do check up on Elon a lot, and I quite liked his suggestion that if Wikipedia would agree to change their name, he'd give them $1 billion. He wants them to change it to Dickopedia. Although I don't have any problem with Wikipedia. I never look at my own wiki page, ever. But I guess he's got a massive wiki page. It is an ever-evolving thing. There are lots of editors on there who give up their free time to go on and edit and re-edit and stuff. I don't know. I know what questions I would ask him. I've got 2 questions for Elon. Well, firstly, will you come on a live with me, Elon? Just DM me on X, because I'm really getting into X. I'm really enjoying it over there. And I'm avid gardener and the number 8, in case you're looking for me, Elon. My big question for him would be, can't you tweet about Ripple once in a while instead of Dogecoin? I know you got your own issues with the SEC, etc. But we too have our issues with the SEC, especially Gary Gensler. Oh, I really want that guy to resign. Anyway, maybe one day my pitiful little 375 Ripple cryptos will be worth something, even though pretty much all the world is using it for cross-border transactions because it's got greater maths than Bitcoin. Anyway, let's talk about the royal family. I have been reading a few fascinating, I think it's some guys brought a book out about Edward VIII, and you think you've heard it all, and then this comes out. He found some archived documents of Edward VIII that he'd written extensively for some guy to put in Time magazine or Lifetime magazine or something like that, and they never made it to print. And this dude found them in a basement of some university in America, I think, and he's written a book. And it is really quite interesting, because I was always really sympathetic towards Edward VIII until relatively recently, and the more I read and the more I learn and the more I see, I feel that the monarchy took the right direction. Let's put it that way. Ultimately, in the end, the Queen would have become the Queen anyway, but she'd have just been older, as it turns out. And of course, I couldn't help but look up Meghan today, and what was it? There are quite a few articles out on her today, and Harry. I think probably the most burny one from Harry's point of view is Peter Morgan, the creator of the Netflix Crown, has said that he has never read Spare, and he deliberately didn't read it because he didn't want his judgment to be coloured. Make what you will of that. And also he said, well, Harry's only a bit part Spare in it anyway, the character. Ooh, he won't like that, will he? Bit part and Spare. Oh dear, poor Harry. And actually one of you commented yesterday and said, Harry has not been the Spare since Prince George was born. And I'd never really thought of it that way, but you're absolutely right. And then of course Princess Charlotte came along, and then Prince Louis. So he's not a Spare at all. He's not a Spare to anything. He's surplus to requirement, really, isn't he? I do feel that things are moving along quicker pace all the time. I'll have to go and look on my own X thing. I found like 3 articles this morning. Daniela Elsa has done an article. Oh, I will put a link in the description to that. I love that girl. She has a very cutting pen, doesn't she? But I get the impression from this article that she's written, even though it's quite acidic against Harry and Meghan, well, it's really on the money actually, that it's been almost a year since the long-awaited Netflix Wine-a-thon, and what's happened in the last year? Near catastrophic car chases, South Park, this new one, what's he called again? I can't remember. The new cartoon that they've done. People laughing at them, not taking them seriously. Nothing seems to work for them. Nothing seems to gel. They just can't seem to get their foot in the door. All his court cases seem to have gone very quiet, don't they? Oh yeah, it'll be the 8th of November soon, won't it? And she'll be going to Florida, I suppose, or calling a sickie, saying she can't make it. Maybe she'll have to stay home and make milkshakes for the kids or something. I wonder if Judge Charlene Honeywell will accept that. We'll have to wait and see. Court cases are very unpredictable things. Very, very unpredictable. People always take a side and start out by thinking, oh, this side's got a slam dunk, they're going to win. Oh no, this side's going to win. But you just never know with court cases, as we all remember from Warby. So that will be interesting to see. And yeah, there was another article. The Daniela Elsa one is a really good read. I won't spoil it for you. I really enjoyed reading it this morning. And basically, it's just a continuation. There was something really bizarre that came out, but I forget now what. There's just so much. Puff, puff, puff. And one of you commented yesterday and said, whatever happened to the 40 by 40 thing? Nothing, did it? Whatever happened to the bench? Nobody talks about that anymore. Whatever happened to a lot of stuff that was going to be so promising? And then I do see supporters. There's one particular person who keeps sending me or posting links to Byline Times or something. Now I am familiar with this. Byline Times is a online publication, I think, that I'd never heard of before. The Dan Wootton, and having a go at Dan Wootton. And I went and looked at Sarah Data's Twitter X thing, and I'm sure she was crowdfunding. The Sugars were fundraising to pay to support Byline, to help them stay in business, or, I don't know, pay legal fees, but they were definitely paying for it. Now, for all the criticism that our camp get, I don't think any of us have ever crowdfunded or raised money to pay for the Daily Mail, Daily Express, the Times, the Telegraph, the Mirror, the Sun, or any of the mainstream British newspapers. Don't know if any of you guys in America have ever crowdfunded to prop up the, I don't know, Washington Post, whichever publication. But so I mean, that's really quite something. I mean, they're basically, if they're being funded by the Sugars, they're going to print what the Sugars want, aren't they? It's obvious. Well, they're sending me links to ludicrous stories that apparently Rupert Murdoch, all of the press, all of society in Britain and the royal family are all one unit. We're all one conspiratorial unit, which I find just as hard to believe as the ridiculous articles about Meghan the other day saying she stole the crown jewels. That was one of the very serious allegations, and I do feel quite safe to repeat that, because it's just so stupid. Meghan stole all of the crown jewels. Oh, fuck off. Right, now the clocks. Getting down to business. So, because I've only got 8 clocks. There's the clocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, all 8 of them are on the table. And they're going to go on the wall there. So then I think I'm going to become a time zone expert, because apparently you guys in the States have 4 time zones. I always thought you had 3. You have 4 apparently. And Australia, I think, has 4. So, because I haven't got that many clocks, I will tell you what each clock will represent, and I've ordered the little plaques to go under them. So one of them is going to be London and Lisbon. The next one's going to be Tel Aviv and Moscow. Another one is going to be Madrid, Gibraltar and Pretoria, because they're each little each clock will be on the same time zone, so it splits it up. Now for America, I mean, you've got so many time zones. I just thought, well, I'll choose one down the middle. And then maybe you guys can work it out, or if I do give an announcement saying I'm doing a live, I am going to become an expert on this and I'm going to explain myself what time it will be. So the American one's going to be Winnipeg, Chicago and Houston. Australia. Oh, you're going to hate me. But I had to choose this one, not only because it's right in the middle of your country, more or less, it's the same time as Tokyo. Give or take 30 minutes. They're slightly different. Alice Springs and Tokyo. Oh yeah, I have got another Australian one. I've got Beijing, Perth and Hong Kong. Hawaii is going to have a clock all to itself because I know some of you are in Hawaii. And the last one is Singapore, Jakarta and Bangkok. Now those are the clocks I've got at the moment. And then I think I'm going to get a separate type of clock, especially for New Zealand. So hopefully I've covered most of the planet there. And I've ordered like a 3D map of the world that you stick to the wall. That arrives on Monday. I'll stick that to the wall and then we'll arrange the clocks around it. So if I've missed you off the list, let me know in the comments. Maybe I can collect more little clocks from various places, but I felt 8 clocks was enough for one wall. So yes, what would your questions be for Elon Musk? Polite questions, nice questions. I know not everybody's a fan, but I would love to do a live with him. I think he's fascinating, and I can just imagine in Fiona's fantasy world if he said yes, the comments on that, wouldn't it? And I wouldn't be able to read them fast enough. So let's get our questions ready. I'd definitely ask him if he's seen aliens at all, you know, with his Starlink thing. And we might do another shooting video later. I was really impressed with myself. I managed to blow that candle out last night. But it won't be a pissed up one, and that's if it doesn't rain, which it looks like it's threatening to do again. So, thoughts, opinions, and most importantly, questions. And Elon, if you're watching this, please DM me on X. Thank you very much for listening.